Welcome to HarvestCloud. Here's a quick guide to get started configuring your grow. First things first, from the home screen we can select Create a Premise and then select Take Me There. From here you can see we don't have any premises. A premise is just any location where work can be done. It could be an entire facility, a room, or a particular greenhouse. From here we can select Create, give it a name. In this case we'll call it My Garden, select a time zone. After creating a premise, navigate to Workflow Templates. When you sign up, an example workflow template is created for you, here. Workflow templates are one of the most essential tools of HarvestCloud. It represents a schedule of all the work you do to each batch of plants in your facilities. They are composed of lifecycle stages and tasks in those stages. Let's take a look. If I select that card and click Edit, you'll see that on the Workflow Template Editor, there are these multiple tabs: General, Stages, Tasks, and Review. When I said that workflow templates are made of stages and tasks within them, you can see that in this example, there is Clone, which has 10 days, Veg, that has 100 days, Flower, which has 58, and Drying, which has 10. So as you can see, workflow templates are just schedules of work that you need to be done repeatedly. If I want to customize this example workflow template, I can select Tasks. I can open up the Veg stage. And when I do, I can see that there are tasks that are scheduled on all of the days. In this case, there are 100 days in Veg. But let's say I need to modify this schedule, and I'll go ahead and I want to move the bin task from day 6 to day 7. All I have to do is select the task type and then go to the day of interest. In this case, I'm going to select day 6 to remove the bin task, and then just select day 7 to add the bin task. Then you select Review and look at all of the changes that you've made. And once you've reviewed your changes, you can select the last stage, click Save, and now your custom changes to the example workflow template have been made. What's truly powerful about workflow templates is that I can repeatedly schedule them for every batch of plants that I have in my facility. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'll go ahead and select the example workflow template to be scheduled, and I'll go ahead and select My Garden as a premise, and I'll tag this particular scheduling as ice cream cake. Once I schedule this workflow, I'll be taken to the Schedule Workflows route, and I can see that the current lifecycle stage of this scheduled workflow template is Clone. I can also see the current day of the lifecycle stage. I can also see the total number of days of the lifecycle stage for this scheduled batch. Let's go ahead and schedule another batch of plants using the same workflow template. So we'll navigate back to Workflow Templates, select our example workflow template, select Schedule, and we'll schedule it again, but instead of scheduling it to start on today, we'll schedule it to start a few days ago. But this time we'll also tag it as a different strain. We'll make it orange cookies this time. Now once it's scheduled, you can see that the current day inside of Clone is day 3 of 10 instead of 1 of 10. Now we want to see all of the work that is made available from scheduling these workflows. We can go to the hamburger menu and select Task Board. Once there on the task board, we're going to select some arbitrary amount of days to look at the work in the future. Once we've selected a date range, we can now see all the work that has been scheduled across time for both of our scheduled workflows, the orange cookies batch and also the ice cream cake batch. For each task on the task board, you can take one of 3 actions. When you select a task, you can either mark the task as complete with the center item, you can move the task backwards in time by an arbitrary number of days, or you can snooze the task forward in time by an arbitrary number of days. So you can see here we have a transplant in the clone lifecycle stage of day 6 of 10. Let's move that task forward one day to go from March 16th to March 17th. I'll go ahead and select snooze by one day. And now you can see that on the 17th, we moved that transplant to the next day. If I want to move this task backwards, I can select the same task again, select move, and move it back by a day. So now that task has been moved from the 17th to the 16th. And just as a quick reminder, if these task types and lifecycle stages don't make sense for your operation, you can customize those totally to your needs. So if you select the hamburger menu and you scroll down to task types and lifecycle stages, inside of each, you can change these completely. So for task types, you can add or remove the task types that make sense and then mark the ones which are resolving, meaning those task types which end a stage. If you want to add your own lifecycle stages, you can also do that here. And that's it. In this video, we covered just some of the high-level concepts and principles of using HarvestCloud. Many features and capabilities were not covered here in this video. There's so much more that HarvestCloud can do. If you want to learn more, check out the resource links and docs attached to the video, or visit gravera.com and send us a message. We'll be more than happy to help.